So, clinical calculator, round of applause, please. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you steady? I'm going to be really, really strict about this. Okay. So you're going to keep it 5 minutes, okay? On your marks, get set, go.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellen, this is Niam, and this is Jack, and we have created Clinical Calculator. I know it sounds really boring, but just bear with it, it's better than it sounds. So the aim of this project was to create an API that combines different calculators to create one really easy way of calculating various things. So at the moment, we have got quite a lot of different calculators, but I'll just tell you about a few. We have one called DVT risk, deep vein thrombosis risk. We have a BMI calculator, and we also have one that tracks child growth rate centiles. So that would just be child's age versus their height, so you can figure out where they are against the average. The service allows developers to write healthcare apps without needing any really complicated logic and computer things, so it just simplifies everything, because medical calculations are ridiculously complicated, as we found out this week. It just simplifies everything, basically. The API is designed for use in hospitals, GPs, or even in a website or an app. It's really, really flexible, and it only requires basic developing skills. It's really easy to use.
So we've got a number of different calculators. I'm not going to go through all of them because, of course, they're quite complex. But for example, Hasbled, it's before you take blood thinners, they'll do this scoring system which figures out how at risk you are of bleeding. Of course, it's very bad. So you put things such as your age, past medical conditions, anything about you really, and it'll give you a score which will tell you how much you're at risk. And then centiles. So normally a child's growth isn't every child's growth isn't the same at a certain age. You'll have a slight deviation, and it shows you if you give your child's age in months, your height and your weight, and you'll get a BMI, and you'll get your child's percentage. It'll be say if we put Jackson, what we'll get say I think around 64%. His height is, for his age, he's in the 64th percentile. Of course, there are other ones such as Wells DVT and BMI and BSA as well.
So the open data we're using, the actual centile data itself isn't open source. You can request it from the medical authority and you can get it, but it takes a very long time to actually get. In America, there's some similar data, which is centile data, but it's for children in America, and it's open data, which it should be here really, but for some reason it's not. We're using some medical algorithms for MD Calculator. They have a list of algorithms you can use and implement in your own code, and we're using some obesity prevalence open data set to actually retrieve obesity information about certain areas. We're using HTML and CSS and Bootstrap for the front end, and we're using Ruby and Sinatra to actually create the API with a custom plugin loading system so we can load the calculators.
So, of course, there are several uses for this API. Of course, you can just build a website, and it can be really simple. It's just a REST client, so pass in some JSON fields and get a response back, and that can be for any of the calculators we've got implemented. It can be used in GP surgeries, and it can be embedded in current systems. So there's one called EMIS, which is quite popular, one of the most popular systems in the UK. And of course, with some calling and some bargaining, we can implement our own system into theirs and have a standardized way of getting calculations. Because currently, different systems have slightly different ways of calculating.
1 minute.
Slightly different ways of calculating these results. And of course, some just don't even do it at all. Like centiles, what you get is a graph, and you have to literally plot with your finger on a graph on a computer screen to find out the actual percentage. It's easy to connect to new apps because it's just a simple API, and it can be easily expanded because it's open source and has a simple syntax for calculators.
Last 30 seconds.
We've just got a short demo.
Gonna have to
It is short. It is short. Don't worry. It's short.
So this is us sending a request to the server using some software called Postman, which is made for sending REST requests to web servers. So in this, I'm entering some data into the server just as the request. So I'll speed it up a bit if we can. No?
That's your 5 minutes.
Right.
That is your 5 minutes, I'm afraid.
I'll just stop it, yeah.
Well done, guys. I have to be really strict with the 5 minutes. So if things don't work, if things happen, then that's part of the challenge, I'm afraid. We've got 2 minutes now of questions. So have we got microphones in the audience all ready to go? I'm going to start. I've got a couple of minutes of questions. Okay, questions. Anyone? Is there anybody there? Where are they?
No one knows.
Hello.
Here we go.
Do we have a question down there? No, maybe some feedback from the judges then. I thought it was really well explained, the presentation, so that's why there's probably no questions. I'm really impressed by the fact that it's a modular Ruby app. That's really cool. I've checked your code out. It's very clean. I like the way of using RESTful API, so I'm really impressed with the technical implementation, and that's my feedback.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That does work. I have a question. What gave you the idea to do this, and does it relate to you as a team?
I'm personally, I want to be a vet, so I do have quite a lot of interest in this particular field. But our centre lead, Marcus, hello, he's a GP, and so it was kind of his idea, to be honest. But we have obviously built upon that and inputted a lot from us. But yeah, we couldn't have done it without Marcus, to be honest. But yeah, that's where the very basic idea came from, and it's all just built up from there.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Any more for any more?
Yeah, hi guys. Well, that looked pretty good to me. I'm pretty sure there should be a standard for things like this. Did you enjoy building this? I mean, obviously, you said you want to be a vet and stuff, so do you feel as if there would be a use for this in the future? Like, would you use something like this?
Yeah, definitely. I say I want to be a vet. I don't know that much about how this could be used in veterinary science, but yeah, I really do think that it could be used. It was so much fun to build. It was really, really interesting. I mean, personally, I was on HTML and CSS, so these guys have done the complicated bit. But yeah, I personally learned a huge amount in a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been really, really good.
Brilliant. Well done.
Okay, that's our 2 minutes of feedback. Clinical calculator, round of applause. Thank you very much. Well done, guys.